guys, thanks for clicking on this video again. Sorry for the delay. I know it's been a few weeks, so please like, comment, and share. And it helps push the videos out. This video is on building lasting bonds and addressing the importance of having harmony in a relationship. I want to start with the importance of the relationship between God and His creation and what it means for us in our marriages and other types of relationships. Um, the first sign that our God is relational is looking at Adam and Eve. God created a whole planet and a garden for his creations. The meaning of the relationship is seen in the relationship of Adam and Eve and God. And then the fall occurred, disrupting the divine relationship, and Adam and Eve were then expelled from the garden because of sin. And what I mean is, in Genesis, God walked and talked with Adam and with Eve, and that's where the relationship starts from a divine divinity. We can see the fall, the start of the fall. Genesis 3:1 says, "Now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord had made. He said to the woman, 'Go,' or did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" The way things changed after the fall affected the religious promises that came after. When humans, God's creations, were separated from God, it made it clear that humans are in a difficult situation. They were meant to have a relationship with God. Because of sin, they were kept apart and couldn't fix it alone. This situation led to an important part of the promises between God and humans. Only God can start the promise. So, according to biblical teachings, the relationship between God and his creations can be understood in several ways. First, creator and the creature, or God and the creation. God is seen as the ultimate creator, and human beings are his creations. This relationship highlights God's sovereignty and humanity's dependence on him. The second is father and children. The Bible often depicts God as a loving father who cares for and neutrals his children. Sorry, guys. His relationship emphasizes the familial bond and the concept of God's parental love and guidance. Third is the shepherd and the flock. God is portrayed as a shepherd in various passages, and humans are referred to as his flock. This relationship emphasizes God's role as a protector. So, given that the first was love, which was the first principle of a Christian relationship, the second is forgiveness. Uh, this forgiveness, the first highlighted scripture uh, is bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. Colossians 3:13. And then be kind and compassionate to one another, uh, forgiving each other just as Christ God forgave you. Ephesians 4:32. Um, another some other biblical senses, meaning how the Bible looks at this. To forgive, it's a verb. To stop blaming or taking an offense into account. To be forgiven. to be or become pardoned or exempt from legal or personal consequences for an offense. And then forgiveness, a formal release from an obligation or debt, especially understood of the debt of sin. So yeah, it's definitely important in a relationship to have love and also forgiveness. And this brings us to the third, which is communication. The point of the relationship is to communicate. I will point out two types of styles that are done during communication. Assertiveness is the ability to express your feelings and to ask for what you want in your relationship. Active listening is the ability to let your partner know you understand them by restating their message. There are so many other examples that I can provide. Uh, One other is called knee to knee. This is when you face this particular exercise, the knee to knee. I do during couples counseling. This is when you face each other knee to knee, so your knees are touching, are close to touching, and you practice active listening, which is, as I stated, active listening is the ability to let your partner know you understand them by restating what they said. Therefore, here's a couple of scriptures: Ephesians 4:25. That's Ephesians 4:25. Therefore, each of you must put off falsehood and speak truthfully to your neighbor, for we are all members of one body. And then James 1:19, it says, "My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry." So effective communication skills is really big in relationships, and communication is at being assertive to express what you feel and and to ask for what you want in your relationship, but then also effective listening to be able to let your partner know that you understand their message and by restating what they've said. So in this section, or this going on from here, since Watch of Freedom, we are a biblical counseling service. So one of the things I wanted to touch on is counseling for marriages or marriage counseling. In this section, I will discuss the biblical foundations of marriage, effective communication based on uh, biblical principles, and the importance of intimacy within marriage. We take passages such as Genesis 2:14, which states that a man and a woman become one flesh, and passages from some of Solomon that celebrate the beauty and the passion of marital love. Further on, um, my apologies. Um, um, Sorry, guys. So the divine institution of marriage. This is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife. They become one flesh. Genesis 2:24 establishes marriage as a sacred covenant designed by God, emphasizing the unity and the unity of the marital relationship. A quote from Norman H. Norman Wright's book, The Premarital Counseling Handbook states that a marriage is not a joining of two worlds, but the abandoning of two worlds to make a new one, meaning that the husband or the father, the man, leaves his family, the woman leaves her family, and the man and the woman become married, and they start their own family unit. Love and selflessness. Ephesians 5:25 calls on husbands to love their wives sacrificially, modeling the selfless love of Christ for the church. This principle emphasizes the importance of selflessness, kindness, patience, and forgiveness in fostering a loving and nurturing marriage. So communicate. So what about communication and conflict resolution, which is majority of the time in couples sessions? That's the biggest hurdle is the communication and then conflict resolution. A lasting relationship is more possible if both partners continue to grow and develop, which is by Norman Wright. Uh, is this so true? I believe it is. If we just took time to listen to our spouse and what they're trying to say, we could have a different outcome of the disagreements differently, and the disagreements come out differently. Um, and that's just going back to the active listening, as I discussed earlier, and going back to the assertive listening. All couples have differences and disagreements. Studies show that the number of disagreements is not related to the happiness of a marriage, as such as how they are handled. So you do you understand that? So the outcome or the disagreements is not related to the happiness of the marriage. It's how the arguments were handled. Happy couples do not avoid disagreements; they resolve them while remaining respectful. Key word: respectful of each other, thereby strengthening their relationship. Make allowances for each other's faults and forgive everyone who offends you. Remember, the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others. Colossians 3:13. And then we move on to family dynamics. We must understand the biblical view of the family dynamic. God is the foundation. The family was designed to reflect God's love, care, and order. When I went through biblical college, um, as I stated about the diagram, um, just to restate, husband is at one corner, the wife is at the other, God is at the top. The closer a husband and wife get to God, the closer they get to each other. The Bible also provides guidance and discipline to our children. The most important one is Proverbs 22:6. Instruct your children in the way they should go. And then there's Ephesians 6:4. Do not provoke your children to anger. The, this highlights the parents to guide and discipline the children in a loving and nurturing manner. The biblical understanding of the family unit extends beyond the nuclear family. In the Old Testament, we can see the importance of the extended family. The family extends beyond the nuclear unit, embracing the bonds of extended kin and community. These relationships reveal unity, according to Romans 12:10. Healthy boundary. I'll stop. Marriage counseling emphasizes biblical foundations, the divine institution of marriage, sacrificial love, and effective communication and conflict resolution. The family dynamic is also rooted in biblical teachings, where God is the foundation. Parents provide guidance and discipline, and the importance of extended family is acknowledged. Through counseling, biblical counseling, or any type of counseling, boundaries are always set. We establish these healthy boundaries that nurture relationships by integrating biblical wisdom and biblical counseling insights. These boundaries safeguard well being while honoring the interconnectedness within families and communities. The healthy boundaries are crucial in counseling and in relationships. Period. While allowing the interconnectedness, boundaries safeguard well-being, autonomy, and respectful integrations. Proverbs 4:23 guide states, "Guard your heart above all else." Counselors, we help to establish boundaries by fostering open communication, clarifying roles, and teaching conflict resolution by combining biblical wisdom and counseling insights. Families cultivate thriving relationships, honoring God's design with love, respect, and balance. Um, in conclusion, building lasting bonds and relationships is a vital aspect of Christian guidance. For stronger marriages, dating success, and family harmony, understanding the relationship between God and His creation lays the foundation of understanding our relationships. God's relational nature is evident through His creation of Adam and Eve and His desire for a meaningful connection with humanity. The fall dis- disrupted the divine relationship, emphasizing our need for God's intervention. Within our relationships, biblical principles guide us. Love, as commanded by Jesus, encourages us to love one another deeply, covering sins and fostering affection. By mirroring God's forgiveness allows us to release blame and seek reconciliation. Communication and essential is essential aspect of relationships. Requires effective listening and assertiveness to express feelings and understand each other. Marriage counseling emphasizes biblical foundation, the divine institution of marriage, sacrificial love, and effective communication and conflict resolution. The family dynamic is also rooted in biblical teaching, where God is the foundation, parents provide guidance and discipline, and the importance of extended family is acknowledged. As we establish healthy boundaries and nurture relationships by integrating biblical wisdom, biblical counseling, and biblical counseling insights, these boundaries safeguard, as I've already stated, they safeguard well being while honoring the interconnections of family and communities. Well, that's it for today's video. I know it's probably long, a lot of information. I hope that you found the insights and principles we discussed today helpful in building lasting bonds in your relationships. Remember, cultivating stronger relationships is not a one time event, but a journey that requires constant effort, grace, and most importantly, God's guidance. If you have any questions, or if you're struggling with anything we've discussed today, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can leave a comment below or contact me directly. I'm here to help you. Before we wrap up, let me remind you, if you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might also benefit. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated with all our latest content, aiming at helping you and your loved ones navigate the journey of faith and love. Thank you guys again for watching. I know this one was a little lengthy and a lot of information. Um, that's partially why it took me a while to get this to come out. But thank you again, guys.